Saturday night it was. Saturday night was wild here at the Michigan Football Report. We went live, and Jack and I are back in here in the studio on a Sunday for our Michigan Football Overreaction Sunday after a third straight win over Ohio State. We're going to talk about overreactions I saw on social media all around the internet, what you guys are saying, what the media is saying, what I'm thinking, what Jack's thinking, etc., etc. But did want to make sure that everyone remembers this. It's always beat Ohio State again. Michigan gets it done for the third straight year. This campaign slogan, political or sports, could be the one of the most powerful ones in the history of American society. So if you guys are just super pumped up like I am, beat Ohio State again, give this video a like. I can't just tell you the amount of satisfaction it comes for me, someone who's got like a lot of Ohio State people in and around my life. I grew up in Ohio. I'm sure for you as well, same kind of situations, whether you went to the game, whether you didn't, whether you know people from Ohio State, etc., to get this win, to shut up the haters, to shut up the doubters, to shut up the counter stallions, people. Give this video a like. Beat Ohio State again. Michigan did it. Smash that like button. Let's get to our overreactions. My overreaction number one, I'm not sure if it's an overreaction. Maybe it's just a truth, is how about Michigan kicker James Turner? We didn't give him a ton of love in the postgame yesterday or the reaction video we put out on Saturday evening. But this guy, this transfer from Louisville, who, by the way, is in the top 10 in the college football playoff rankings themselves, he jumps over to Michigan for his fifth year. Let's talk about the second half from this guy. 3 field goals. 3 of 3 field goals, including a 50-yarder in the third quarter. And then just steady Eddie when it comes to extra points. Hits that 50-yarder. 12 of Michigan's 30 points came from his 3 field goals and his 3 extra points. I do want to recognize James Turner. All right, there's a couple unsung heroes in this game. I think James Turner is one of them. I certainly think Quentin Johnson, fifth-year senior, is one of them. Derrick Moore made some plays. There's a lot of guys. Mason Graham with a nice play in the first half, etc., that maybe didn't get enough love and attention from all around Michigan football media and fans, etc., on Saturday night. So shout out James Turner. He is our overreaction number one. We're calling him Mr. Ice, channeling some of that Jake Moody vibes. I know Moody isn't the greatest first season in San Francisco, but he certainly was the best kicker in Michigan football history. James Turner is kind of holding that flag of Michigan football, his kicker university. Give me one overreaction from yesterday's win versus Ohio State. One thing that you guys think that no one's talking about enough, or one thing that you just thought about, you were texting your friends, this is true, etc. The one that I actually think, Jack, that I want to talk about, you're the first one who threw it out at me, is I think that Michigan could, maybe and should. You're starting to, with second day now, thinking that maybe they're going to be number one in the polls on Tuesday. College football playoff, top 25 come Tuesday night. You beat number 2, Ohio State. It was a 6-point game, but I think Michigan really probably dominated 70%, 80% of that game. That's mine. Even though it's not in the show, these are your overreactions or media overreactions. One of mine that we didn't put in the show, maybe Michigan should be number 1. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments on today's Michigan Football Report. How about number 2? How about Michigan overcoming injuries? When you lose your best player on offense, or one of your 2 best players, maybe not most important, but I think most talented, maybe best over a career, in Zach Zinter, that shows a lot, especially when he goes out and the emotions from the crowd, the emotions from the players, right? Even the emotions of people at home on social media. It was clear how much Zach Zinter has meant to this program as a 4-year starter. Came in here in the 2020 COVID year, all right, got in the starting lineup as a true freshman, continued on in 2021, 2022. He's going to go for his 3rd straight Big Ten championship this season. He's probably not going to play. Injury reports, aren't looking great on him early on. But shout out to Zach Zinter for being just a legend in Michigan football. But shout out to also the players around him that didn't let that stop their quest to beat Ohio State for the 3rd straight time. One guy I think will be back, whether it's this coming week against Iowa in the Big Ten championship game, Michigan going for their 3rd straight Big Ten championship. But Michigan absolutely needs back if they're going to win a national title. Hell, I don't know if they're going to struggle with Iowa without Will Johnson, but they'll definitely need him in the college football playoff semifinal at least. Is Will Johnson. Wasn't in there against the 4th quarter against Marvin Harrison. But Ohio State got some action going on without him, but ultimately they came up. Rod Moore with the game-sealing interception for Michigan, which we absolutely went crazy for. Jack and I did in the Chat Sports studio. Put an instant reaction video, like 30, 40 seconds of us just going crazy, iPhone footage. I'll put the link to that in the comments and description of our post game. It's also pinned to my Twitter account at James Yoder. I want to tell you guys that we are going to be live on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to preview the Big Ten Championship, College Football Playoff Top 25 reveal. Will Michigan be number one for the first time in 25, nearly 26 years? Make sure you guys are joining us for that at 6:30 Eastern. We'll be live for about 90 minutes, maybe up to 2 hours. Segments, taking your questions, etc., etc. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. Send a link to friends if you've already subscribed. We're coming up on 30,000 subscribers. Let's hit that. Let's hit that by, I don't know, signing day at the least, but maybe in the next 10, 12 days or so as we are getting closer to the month of December, as Michigan's going for a national championship in the month of January. Is Michigan going to be a national title favorite? All right, we're going to talk about where they might be ranked in the top 25, who they could play in a Pasadena Rose Bowl trip. But I did want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, and that, of course, is Prize Picks. I love Prize Picks, the easiest and fastest way to play daily fantasy sports. You can pick more or less on any player stats to win up to 25 times your money. Let's take a look at some of the picks we have with Prize Picks. Toss up there if you want, Jack, the how to play. I don't care what we put up with Prize Picks. I've got 2 picks for Sunday Night Football. I've got Lamar Jackson, right? I've got Justin Herbert. Sticking to the quarterbacks. I'm going less, right? I think John Harbaugh is going to take a little, from his brother or Sherman Moore's playbook and go to the running game for Sunday Night Football against the Chargers. Less than 234.5 yards for Lamar Jackson. Justin Herbert, I'm going more than 1.5 touchdowns. Prize Picks is super easy to play. They also give you a reboot policy, so if either one of these players gets injured in the first half, don't return in the second half. My Prize Picks entry lives on. You can get up to a $100 deposit match when you make up to a $100 deposit, your first deposit, up to $100. Use prizepicks.com/CLNS. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use promo code CLNS. It's down in the comments. It's down in the description of today's video. It's really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit in less than 60 seconds. I love Prize Picks. You will too. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that code CLNS for a deposit match for up to $100. We make your first deposit with Prize Picks. Take a look at the stats here in this game, and I'll tell you what. Michigan didn't wow you in any facet of the game. They didn't have 7 sacks on Kyle McCord. They didn't completely shut down TreVeyon Henderson or shut down Marvin Harrison or anything like that. And you see it, Ohio State outgained them by 40 yards. Ohio State had more passing yards. But the one thing that was really necessary in this game, in my opinion, and it's proved out again, 22 straight years, the team that dominated the rushing attack won the game. 156 yards rushing for Michigan, only to 107 for Ohio State. No turnovers, which I think is the second most important thing for Michigan for this game over the past 20, 30, 40 years. 2 turnovers for Ohio State. The first one, that got Michigan the first touchdown. The second one, that sealed the game for Michigan. Defense wins championships. Michigan bent, but they never broke against Ohio State. Marvin Harrison got his, of course. Marvin Harrison did his thing. He got his 5 catches over 100 yards. He got a touchdown in the second half, but Michigan always felt in control. Kyle McCord. Ohio State fans are taking shots at him. They needed to transfer. They need to get somebody in the transfer portal, et cetera, et cetera. Look, Kyle McCord's Ohio State teams, they're more competitive against Michigan than C.J. Stroud's Ohio State teams were, right? It's not a 42-27. It's not a 45-23. I know you're going to say, oh, Ohio State defense is better. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. We went 18 of 30, 2 touchdowns, but those 2 costly interceptions. How about TreVeyon Henderson? The main point in the game, the thing that Michigan needed to control, needed to stop, needed to manage, whatever you want to call it, was making sure TreVeyon Henderson did not go off. I said, if he gets over 100 yards, Ohio State wins. If he gets under 100 yards, Michigan wins. What are you going to do? It proved to be true. Michigan, 156 yards. Now, Ohio State had more rushing yards in the first half, but the game went on. It reminded me so much of 2021, and not really in 2022 because those are 2 big yards by the Dons. Just grind, 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 grind. The one drive in the fourth quarter, Michigan got the ball back with about 8 minutes and 5 seconds left after Ohio State scored to cut it to 3 points. 13 plays, 56 yards, 7 minutes made Ohio State use all 3 of their timeouts to get the ball back with no timeouts without a minute left. That equals a win for this team. My thoughts here on this, okay? This is really all that matters. All right, after dominating the opening drive for Ohio State, Michigan's defense stuffed the run, right, in the second half, I should say. After that first drive by Ohio State in the second half, Ohio State got 46 yards on the ground, kind of more than doubled up what they had at halftime, as neither team really got the ball going at all at the half. I think that was like, what was the total, Jack, here at halftime? It was like 50 to something. I've got it here right on my phone. You don't have to look. It was at halftime, Michigan had 34 yards. Ohio State had 37 yards at half. Okay, Ohio State's first drive in the second half, after Michigan gets a field goal, they got 46 yards on the ground as they went down the field and scored a touchdown. It didn't ultimately matter. That didn't continue after that. Michigan hunkered down, and they got the W. Marvin Harrison Jr., right? He got his. 5 catches, 118 yards, a touchdown. Okay, we'll take it. I said you can let Marvin Harrison go off. You kind of think of him like you do Michael Jordan or Steph Curry or somebody like that. He's going to get his. Just don't let the rest of the team get theirs. Don't let Trayvon Henderson, of course, don't let Kate Stover or Mecca Ibuka. Let him have his, because it's going to be really tough and maybe too taxing on your defense to prevent him from getting all the yards that you think he can. But I think that Michigan did a good job, let him get just enough, but never bent when it came to the running game and stopping Ohio State, of course, in the red zone. They got a little success there, but Michigan definitely won the majority of the day. Pass-happy teams, I don't think they win in the Big Ten in the near term. There's a year or two there in 2018, 2019, maybe a different story. But going forward, I think you've seen it with USC, okay? I think you've seen it with Ohio State against Michigan. You're going to see it in the going forward, is that pass-happy teams aren't going to win the Big Ten. You can pass successfully and have success, but you've got to be able to run the ball, and you can't abandon the ball like Ryan Day did for a third year in a row in the second half. Guys, we did it. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. This next month plus is going to be awesome. Michigan's going to kick Iowa's butt on Saturday night in the Big Ten championship game. And then Sunday we'll be live. We'll know who Michigan's playing in the Big Ten championship game. Comment Bosa. Join me in the comments. Show support for this team. Show support for this show. And show support for this push to a 2023 national championship for the Michigan football team. Comment Bosa. Let's keep this thing rolling. J.J. McCarthy. The stats weren't huge, okay? The stats weren't anything to call home to mom about. That's fine. 16 of 20, 148. But he was throwing darts when you need it. Cornelius Johnson on the sideline. Roman Wilson threw a touchdown. Back across his body to Cornelius Johnson. Fourth down, little rollout quick one to Colson Loveland in the fourth quarter when Michigan needed to kill the clock, run the clock down as they're holding on to a 3-point lead. J.J. McCarthy had a day. Wasn't one that's going to go down to. It's like, oh my gosh, do you remember when Tamunga Bakabatuka ran for 313 yards? Do you remember Donovan Edwards went for 160 yards on 2 runs in the fourth quarter? That's not the day it was. It was a day kind of more like Drew Henson in 2000, whereas he made the plays that needed to be made when they needed. He made the plays that needed to be made when he needed to make them. That's what J.J. McCarthy did. A couple of the 3 or 4 best throws I've seen, top 10 throws I've seen ever from a Michigan quarterback in my life. He was throwing darts out there. He was having fun. He was looking confident. And he is the difference in this program going 10-2, 9-3, basically forever, to back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. Going to go 3 straight Big Ten championships, and it's Houston or bust. But first, Michigan needs to get to Pasadena. Michigan's going to get the number 1 or 2 seed, should they, of course, take care of business against Iowa coming up on Saturday. When that happens, I can say almost a guarantee they're going to be in Pasadena. Because if Georgia wins, right, against Alabama, who pulled out a squeaker last play against Auburn, Georgia wins to Alabama, they're going to get the number 1 seed. They are going to take the Sugar Bowl. If Georgia loses and Michigan's the number 1 seed, well, Michigan's going to take Pasadena anyway. So either way, the only way Michigan's not in Pasadena, if they were to lose to Iowa but still get in the CFP, then maybe they're the number 4 seed against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. But I'm excited. You got to win in Pasadena first. They got to get that first CFP win. But you guys are with me on this one. It's been Houston or bust since January, since Michigan lost to TCU. Type Houston in the comments. Join me. Let's see if somebody can type in Houston. Type Houston 10 times if you're a viewer of the show, if you've supported what we've done for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons. Let me know by typing Houston in the comments. Show support. Type Houston. It's Houston or bust. I'm excited. I think I'm going to go. I might book, Jack, before the tickets go up or the prices, the flights go up, because we were thinking about taking like a 3 or 4 day trip for Christmas, right, before the whole CFP. I might just go to California, take the kids to SeaWorld, maybe to Disney, etc., and then be there for Pasadena. Go to the Michigan game against whoever they face in the college football playoff, because I didn't do it the last 2 years. I kind of regret it at this point. go this year. I'll be there for the win. And then 7 days later, we will be in Houston on January 8th for the national championship game. But I'll ask you guys this question. We're talking Washington. We're talking Oregon, Florida State, Texas, Alabama. Okay, who am I missing here? Washington, Florida State, Texas, Alabama. I guess that's it, right? Who do you want Michigan to face in the college football playoff semifinals? Let me know in the comments. Who's the best matchup for the Wolverines? Who do you think they have the best chance to win? Look, I don't want a repeat of last year, TCU. Everyone wanted to play TCU. Michigan wasn't ready to play for them. This year, you want a team you can play, that you match up against. I don't want Georgia. I don't want Oregon at this point, okay? Because I think Michigan has better chance than other teams. But any of those teams, Michigan, if they come ready to play, which with Jim Harbaugh back in the sideline, I absolutely think they need to be 100% focused and will be, is Houston or bust. And I'll take on any of those other teams and take our chances with Georgia, maybe Oregon, in the national championship, guys. Pasadena, then Houston or bust. We will have more Michigan football content. It's going to be an absolute palooza of a week. Videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, live Tuesday, live Sunday. Michigan Football Report extravaganza. Appreciate it. Maybe live Saturday night. Maybe live Saturday night. Maybe post game. Maybe during the game. We shall see. Appreciate everyone who's rolled with us this season, prior seasons. So I'll see you guys next time. Go Blue.